What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Trapper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lydia Slaves, Likes, and Locks in the Darkness. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I can do whatever I want, because if I want to use a Bane voice, I can use a Bane voice. I ended up with 2 units. My largest individual play, 2 units on the Chicago Cubs today. Other spots just felt a little bit wonky. Ended up doubling down as the number moved down. Had some people reacting to that in yesterday's comment section. Normally you do want that line movement in your direction. It's a nice thing to affirm your play, but sometimes you got to recognize when you just strongly disagree with what the public is doing, or the sharp money, where it's going, or how things are reacting. Again, I'm doing my own projections. I'm doing line shopping with the help of Odd Shopper every single day. And I am helping you find the best plays. At least that's the goal of this video, is to help you find the best plays so you get closing line value. But kind of a wonky spot there. Javier Assad was awesome. Ended up giving those 2 solo shots up. Hopefully they can hold up here. Yeah, top of the 8th. 5-2. I'm going to be paying close attention to that one all the way to the home stretch. And hey, if we could get Dominic Canzone to go yard today too, that wouldn't exactly hurt my feelings. Did an entire thread on him. Thank you for everybody who's following me over on Twitter/X at Eric Lindquist. That's where you can find me. But we got Caesars along for the ride yet again. And hey, that offer is live. You bet $50, you're going to get yourself 5 $50 bonus bets per week. So you'll get $50 right off the bat. As soon as you put $50 on something, you'll get $50 in that bonus bet into your account. And then every single Monday, you're going to be able to fire another $50 wager, which gets you all the way up to the NFL season. That's an awesome deal over at Caesars. Again, 5 extra shots after you wager that first $50. That's an amazing opportunity. So I want you guys to check that out over at Caesars. That's why we gave the now wave to BetMGM, but kind of, again, I just want you signed up at all the sports books. BetMGM, we still have that 2 free months of the premium Discord. I know a lot of you have been taking advantage of that. Lots of new faces, great places, great faces. South Dakota. That used to be the theme of my old state. Guys, it's only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. You get it? Great faces, because Mount Rushmore? Haha. I'm doing really well picking baseball, so that's what really matters. So your producer, Jacob, hey, we got 15 games on this Tuesday, per usual. I don't know exactly what's going on with the Cincinnati LA situation after they got postponed for their field being soaking wet. Pay attention to that. But I think we're going to just assume it's the same pitchers there. Blake Snell ended up getting moved, so it ended up being Michael Walker there in San Diego. Lots of moving pieces, late season MLB. I've talked enough, though, here at the intro. So, yeah, let's just get to the picks. Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. All right, 5-2. Can we just get this game over with? The Cubs playing Detroit yet again here. My voice just disappeared like that. That's what happens. That's my excited voice. Again, a lot of money that I have on this Cubs team. Hopefully they can close it out here for us. That line was very suspiciously moving. I talked about it during the intro. If you weren't listening, well, shame on you. Listen to the whole video. Get all of the information. But a lot of you do that. I appreciate that. But you guys also want to be paying close attention to this Cubs line, because maybe you see the inverse tomorrow with a completely different pitching situation. Drew Smyly going up against Reese Olson. And Reese Olson, I would call it a disappointing season for this individual, considering he had some pretty large pedigree coming in to the big leagues. 340 xWOBA, 478 expected slugging, 22.8% K rate isn't terrible, but the other numbers are. The other numbers I said are. This Cubs lineup, confirmed power, confirmed responsibility to continue winning us money. And we're going to be backing them yet again, but not for a lock, not even remotely close. We got Drew Smyly here, 33.8% hard hit percentage. Yay. Weak contact. Also going to neutralize some of the lefties, being Riley, Green, Kerry, Carpenter. They're the main ones I'm worried about. Even though Spencer Torkelson gets the platoon, and, well, he's murdering baseballs. 52.7% hard hit percentage. I always like it when you see these young stars. Yeah, he's going to be a star in baseball who had a terrible, horrendous, no good, very bad rookie season, start to turn it on. But overall, the rest of this lineup is dog shit, and you already know that. So, minus 120. I don't know if this ends up being the prevailing number come lock. I have a feeling it's going to start moving the opposite direction. But hey, I was wrong about yesterday to a certain extent, even though, again, I just double dipped. More money. And now I won more money than I would have won. So thank you, public. Chicago money line, only a half unit play for me as it stands right now. It gets the thumb of approval. That's called a like. To our next spot, and anytime you get this Colorado Rockies lineup outside of Coors Field, I don't know what Coors Field is. I don't even have a joke. The Colorado Rockies outside of Coors in the Trop. Yeah, huge ballpark downgrade. Not going to exactly have the offense that we saw during spurts of their last series at home, but Ty Block going up against Zach Littell. And Zach Littell, he's had the results, but the hard hit is still there. 49.7% hard hit, 295 expected batting average, just a 20.7% K rate. But again, results have been there some way, somehow. But there's no way that I'm going to bet this individual at minus 250 or on the run line, minus 115. Are you kidding me? But there's no way I'm going to back Colorado either. Ty Block, 45.3% hard hit percentage, 383 xWOBA. He throws a lot of sinker balls. That's pretty much all that he's out there throwing. He avoids barrels to a certain extent, but like, come on, bro. No. Just stay away from this game. It's a trap. Always the General Akbar spots like this. Tampa Bay minus 1.5. It's going to be a lean, but like legitimately, I hate everything in this game. Nothing makes me happy. Nothing is going to really stand out in a prop situation. I can already tell you that. I don't know why I'm doing like the Trump thing. Guys, I'm telling you, Tampa Bay minus 1.5. It's just not a thing. We're not going to do it, okay? It's really, it's like the most large spread. It's the biggest of the spreads. We can't do it. We can't do it. Pretty interesting spot here, if I do say so myself. We got the San Francisco Giants taking on the Phillies. They're favorites here, despite Taijuan Walker, not my favorite back in the entire world, although he's had spurts this season. I'm just not a big hot, cold, yes, no, in, out guy. Katy Perry? Somebody said I know a lot of songs. I do know a lot of songs. But Taijuan Walker, 325 xWOBA, 19.3% K rate. Working through some of his stuff, he throws that split change. It's a sinker and a cutter, and it's kind of a weird arsenal. He limits barrels, sub 7%. That always makes me happy. But as I look at it across the board, why would I go out of my way to try to back them here against a pretty decent San Francisco team that's always playing the platoon? And now they are calling up an arm that I kind of find to be a little bit fascinating. And you're getting some value if he ends up being that guy. Or maybe he ends up being just completely shelled. I still think you have extra outs going up against Taijuan Walker, because I don't find him to be all that appealing. But Kyle Harrison is the young man's name. He's 22. He's a southpaw. And working through some of his minor league numbers, the man has 105 strikeouts through 65 and 2/3 innings. 105 strikeouts through 65 and 2/3 innings is a ridiculous type rate. Now, he carries with it a 4.66 ERA, but he pitches for the Sacramento River Cats, and I think you know, if you've watched my videos before, what I think about the PCL. The PCL, the Pacific Coast League, is steroids. It's playing baseball on the moon. You're going to Reno. You're going to Albuquerque. Yeah, shout out Weird Al again. But I'm telling you, friends, I think he might actually be legitimately good. If you have a sub 5 ERA in the PCL, there's upside, and you neutralize Schwarber, and you neutralize Harper left on left. So the strikeout stuff could just be there immediately. He's stretched out. He's, for all intents and purposes, a really good starter here. 20 games started in this spot. Overall, again, sub 4.7 ERA. That's decent enough for me to at least just say, hey, plus 130. Pretty neutral lineup situation that we're looking at here. All right. Plus money San Francisco. It's the dog days of summer, friends, and dogs, we shall play half unit on the San Francisco money line. We continue on our merry way. Kikuchi, the girl is hard to get. You will never get that reference. But anyway, Yusei Kikuchi, friends, going up against, I wouldn't call him our old friend because he's never really been my friend, but he's somebody that I know everybody likes as a friend, but I do like him as a friend recently because we've been winning games betting this Baltimore team pretty routinely. Do I feel like pulling the trigger here, though? Grayson Rodriguez, I don't think so. 46.1% hard hit percentage, 269 expected batting average, getting back into their home ballpark, and, well, they're favorites here against Kikuchi. I remember the days of yore when Toronto was completely overvalued with Kikuchi and Berrios on the mound, and all we did was accumulate money. But now, the last 2 weeks, Well, all we do is accumulate more money. So I guess it's still working out when you look at it that way. Kikuchi, though, not a great back. 40.1% hard hit percentage, 427 expected slugging, right around a 25% K rate, which, again, above average. He's going to run into some guys who strike out quite a bit here. Gunnar Henderson left on left. Ryan O'Hearn probably not going to be breaking that lineup. But there's another first baseman who's going to be in there who does strike out at a 23.5% clip. And yet, I feel pretty good about backing him here. A 12.8 degree average launch angle, a 544 expected slugging. I think the telltale signs are there that his 47.7% hard hit percentage is going to continue to go up ever so slightly. Going to be around a 48, 49, 50% hard hit percentage guy at the end of the season. Who am I talking about? Ryan Mountcastle. And yes, in Camden, you've got an absolute disaster waiting for you in left field. They built a cavern. There's like this big ravine that you have to hit a ball over. It is really difficult for righty power. And yet, you got Ryan Mountcastle, who has so much of it, it almost doesn't matter. Give me the platoon with Mountcastle. If we find anything better than plus 350, which I totally expect here in his home ballpark, he's going to be on the card. Be on the lookout because my home run model likes him a lot. Baltimore, generally we like backing them a lot. This one feels more like a coin flip and more like a stay away. The Natty Lights taking on the New York Yankees. It was a really great interview. Probably the highlight of that Little League Classic. It surely wasn't the baseball. I really did like the interview that they did with Josiah Gray. Not sure if you saw it. He just seems like a very happy, effervescent person that you want to cheer for in life. He is an all-star from this season. He's also not very good, so there's that. 334 xWOBA, 415 expected slugging, 20% K rate, 11% walk rate. The only thing he's been doing is limiting hard contact to a certain extent, but there's guys who hit it long and far, and he has a 15.9 degree average launch angle that comes along for the ride. So yeah, Judge, Stanton, Bowers, you kind of know the dudes by now. They're playing terrible baseball as a team, but those guys, you can always back them if the number is right. So be on the lookout for props there. Doubt there's going to be anything of value really to mine out of there. But on the other side, there's a home run that I surely think that is going to be on my card tomorrow. Again, we're going back-to-back home run props. And then I got nothing else for you in the home run department the rest of the program. So two that I'm throwing out there here on today's card, mainly because what their respective numbers have been recently. I expect there to be value when we come into tomorrow. It's Carlos Rodon, the southpaw. General name recognition would make you think, oh my God, are we going to really target Carlos Rodon with a bat from Washington? Well, check this out. 44.9% hard hit percentage so far this season, a 20.6 degree average launch angle with 65% fastball usage. Oh boy. He's going to run into the bat of Stone Garrett, friends. And Stone Garrett, by far, leads this baseball team. He's a long, strong, mean little man. No, he's very nice, too. Very nice individual. But a 49.7% hard hit percentage with a 16.8 degree average launch angle and only a it's a massive K rate, 30.7% K rate. But another thing I talk about routinely on this program is if you're not going to be striking out guys who strike out a lot, and Carlos Rodon is all the way down to the floor for him, 20.5% K rate, you're going to run into bats more often, and that's bad with guys with barrel rates of the liking of Stone Garrett. Now, you're going into Yankee Stadium. I don't think books are immune to knowing that it's going to be Yankee Stadium, and it's a really good home run environment and a home run ballpark. But anything better than plus 320 for Stone Garrett ends up being a play for me, and I expect this to be actually a higher number than that of Ryan Mountcastle, who we just talked about. So overall, this is my favorite home run target. Probably, again, we don't have the numbers out yet. This is me just using previous data to approximate, but Stone Garrett, I think, ends up being my favorite home run play to target. I'll talk about a couple as we're moving along. I've got a couple highlighted starred in my model, but Stone Garrett, my favorite home run play heading into Tuesday. You give on me, you say no way. People liked that yesterday, so I just thought I'd run it back. The Cardinals, the Pittsburgh Pirates, Adam Wainwright on the mound. Johan Oviedo, assumed to be the starter here on the other side, but it's not official because Pittsburgh, even though they're winning this baseball game today, they are generally not trying to win baseball games. And that, my friends, means, well, you could run into anything here, so just be on the lookout. But we're going to talk as though it is Johan Oviedo on the mound here in this situation. And I would say he's been better than I expected coming into this season. The bullpen arm with the St. Louis Cardinals a year ago, traded to Pittsburgh, ends up being converted to a starter. And it's gone okay with a 329 xWOBA. That's a little bit worse than you're expecting, but like it's better than I was expecting for him. Now, only a 20.2% K rate as you go from reliever to starter. That K rate should plummet. It'd be weird if it didn't. You should be throwing your best stuff and throw a little harder. But then a 10% walk rate to go along with it. That's kind of where the problems lie. So I do think it's a dangerous spot, but I'm very curious to see where books end up opening this line with Adam Wainwright. He's had an unbelievably abysmal season. Over $17 million to be terrible on the mound. Just an 11.5% K rate, of 577. My nose itched, sorry. 573 expected slugging, 410 xWOBA. I'm telling you, friends. I'm telling you. There are very, very few situations on planet Earth that I would ever invest money, even if I were getting in like territory, where I'd want to invest money in somebody like that. A lot of what I do is I really project pitching well. That's really a lot of what I do is I can tell when guys are in trouble and when guys are not in trouble, or when there's positive regression too. There is no positive regression for a guy in his 40s with these kind of numbers. I just don't see it. It's basically his last run here. They're going to try to get him wins to get to 200 wins. Talked about that with Greg Ehrenberg on the Stokastic Live Before Lock a couple days ago. But I'm telling you, right now, no way I'm backing the Cardinals. So approximating Pittsburgh, if we can get plus money, that would be outrageous. I don't think we're going to here in this spot, but I'm going to just lean Pittsburgh plus infinity runs because it's not like I love Johan Oviedo too. So would PNC Park run this up to 10 and a half like this was the Atlanta Braves coming to town? I don't know, but Pittsburgh's shown the ability at the top of this lineup to put up runs against no, there's nobody worse than Adam Wainwright. So just say it. Oh, to infinity and beyond. Next game. The Dodgers about to tee off on their old friend Noah Syndergaard, who had a nice cup of coffee with them at the beginning of the season until they cut bait and said, we're actually trying to win baseball games, not lose them. So Noah Syndergaard, bye-bye, give him the nah wave. And he's going to be going up against Bobby Miller of the Dodgers. This is a guy that we have backed quite a bit in terms of Ks of late, and I do expect the ceiling to just get higher and higher. Can I get much higher? Yeah, I do know a lot of songs, but 46.3% ground ball rate, decent enough. But what I'm really looking at is this 99.2 mile per hour four-seamer, this 98.8 mile per hour average sinker. My God, give me those numbers. How are they not inducing more than 17 and 14.9% whiff percentages at the moment, respectively? So, yeah. I love the velocity, the slider. If he can get to that slider, curveball, changeup situation, those are just plus pitches, but he was known for his velocity. I'm just a little bit surprised. We haven't seen some gigantic strikeout kind of stuff here of late, but just the 4.43. I'm going to continue to back him in some department there where I combine 4.5 or 5.5 with a money line or something of that nature here, but specifically, I'm looking at the run line because on the other side of this game, their old friend Noah Syndergaard. You can run on him. You can hit for power on him. Give him 4 home runs in a recent start. That's not exactly ideal. 376 xWOBA, 516 expected slugging. This was one of the games I highlighted, tried to figure out exactly what I was going to do with. And the only reason I didn't lock it, the only reason I didn't completely pop, lock, and drop it is that Bobby Miller, man, this guy should be a lot better than what he is. And maybe we're buying in low on the ceiling of him and buying out on Noah Syndergaard's way out of the major leagues. But either way, the run line, I thought we were going to get something closer to the even money, not even money itself, minus 105. I was kind of hoping for that. But as it stands right now, I'm just fine backing them at minus 120 at FanDuel Sportsbook. That's the current best available line, but only for only for a half unit. Sad because I was hoping to jam here. We can also jam with Caesar Sportsbook, my friend. Look at that beautiful individual, that yellow shirt. I don't think it was yellow originally. Somebody did a great job with that. But hey, I look handsome, and we're going to bet $50 and get ourselves $250. That is a handsome, handsome deal, if I do say so myself. Now, here's how it works. You're going to bet yourself $50 over at Caesar Sportsbook at the link below. And when you do that, if you do that before next Monday, you are going to get yourself $250 in bonus bets, and that is paid out in 4 different four different $50 bets every single Monday, as well as a $50 bet right off the bat. So when you bet that 50 is coming in your account from Caesars as a bet immediately. That is an unbelievable deal. That gives you legitimately 6 cracks. If you want to bet plus money lines, you're going to get 6 cracks at doubling your money and then some. That's the way that I think about that. It is a great opportunity to build that bankroll. If you go 50% on major minus money lines as well, you're going to make a lot of profit. You can then take it off of Caesars. You can then run to the next sports book or wherever the best line is, wherever your favorite play is. That is the point of Odd Shopper. That's why we're called Odd Shoppers. You should be shopping for that best line no matter what sportsbook it's at. So I don't care if it's Bet365 or if it's at Caesars or if it's at DraftKings or FanDuel. I do not care. I don't care. Just get the best number every single day because a wager is good at the moment that you place it. That is what distinguishes the people who do this professionally from the people who are just figuring this thing out. So let's just try to do everything we can to put money into your pocket so that you can start up, so you can play from ahead against these sports books. So check it out. Bet $50, get $250 over at Caesars with this deal at the link below right now. It's only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. We go from a read to a lock, my friends. The New York Mets, they are putting a little slacking on Atlanta right now. 7-4, end of the 5th here. I am so happy. So happy that I didn't end up betting the Braves there. The more I looked at it, it just didn't look good. Anyway, it also doesn't look good for either of these pitchers. Tyler McGill. Me and my Tyler McGill. It's another song. Bryce Elder on the other side of this one here for the Braves. And McGill, the only reason that he is back in the big leagues is the Mets cut bait with every starter except for Kadai Senga and... well, they should have cut bait with David Peterson too, but that, it is what it is. Anyway, Tyler McGill, 379 xWOBA, 495 expected slugging, 17.4% K rate, 11.1% walk rate, nearly a 10% barrel percentage. You know what happens when guys like that head to Atlanta and face the league high 121 WRC plus against right-handed pitching that the Atlanta Braves bring to the table? Bad things happen to them. Running headfirst into a wall. Why would you do it? You shouldn't do it. That's what insane people do. Or Tyler McGill in this spot. As for Bryce Elder on the other side of this one, not exactly punky dory himself. 17.6% K rate, 257 expected batting average. Now, the 6.5% barrel percentage does add a little bit of hope for our guy, as does the 53% ground ball percentage, but I'm not going to be backing Atlanta, and him at a minus 225 number feels eerily similar to that Tampa Bay spot where it would kind of be dog or pass. I wouldn't be really trying to figure out anything else to do there. And I don't feel like betting the New York Mets in this spot over the long period of time at this kind of a number, considering it's the Atlanta Braves lineup on the other side. So at 10.5 though, there is a massive disparity across the sports books right now, and this is what I really want to hammer home here in this spot. FanDuel has this at minus 115 on the over of 10.5. DraftKings has this at minus 102. A 13-cent difference is drastic, especially when you're talking about pretty efficient totals that if you can just assume that there is one side of it that's the better side, and then you get this long disparity between the two, it is a lock. It's legitimately a lock. Now, it's at the minus 115 type number, but minus 102 on the over of 10.5, I insta-bet it. Over one, so just 1.5 units here. Again, I'm just getting a little exotic here. 2 units on the Cubs, 1.5 here in this spot, but I could not like a spot better in a million years than this one for the Braves and the Mets to go have an offensive fiesta. That's a song I didn't expect. I'm going to leave. We have established that I can't dance, but I can break down baseball, and that's what I'm going to continue doing for the sake of everybody involved. Tanner Houck on the mound against Justin Verlander, the returned star of the Astros, who have a star on their hat, and there's no correlation between the two, so we're going to just move along now. Move along like I know you do. And even when your hope is gone, Tanner Houck, 43.9% hard hit percentage, it's okay because you have redeeming qualities. 387 expected slugging, just an 8.1% walk rate, and a 6.6% barrel percentage, and a 29.4% whiff percentage. So across the board, some things that I do like about the repertoire and the arsenal. He throws a slider, split, cutter, four-seamer, and the sinker. I do like that pitch overall. So Tanner Houck, not exactly somebody that I'm going out of my way to pick on, but there's going to be some run opportunity here, and 8.5 is a little bit of a low number here. Now, it's not good enough on a 15-game slate for me to fire it, and I think a little bit of the trepidation is Tanner Houck's upside, as well as Justin Verlander back in Houston. I think he's going to be more comfortable. I don't know how to analyze that, so I'm just staying away. He does have a 293 xWOBA, but 371 expected slugging on the season, but down to a 20.2% K rate, with a 17.8 degree average launch angle, throwing that four-seamer 50% of the time like he normally does, just doing his thing. But overall, just he's not the same pitcher. Not the same. You were not the same after that. It's Ben Folds again. I like Ben Folds. I don't like this game. Over 8.5, just going to be a lean for me. Maybe there's some props, but I highly doubt it. Probably a stay away across the board. We should rapid fire a couple games here because, well, I just don't have a play from this one. I can talk really fast. We have my Minnesota Twins on the mound. The whole team is not on the mound. Bailey Ober is on the mound. There you go. Good job, Eric. Way to talk and say words. You got Wade Miley on the other side. He limits hard contact the same way Bailey Ober does, but Wade Miley, he's large that way, and Bailey Ober is large that way, and it's going to be fun to watch because it's just like two different body types. You do two different things, and they both throw it from different angles, and I don't know why I went like that, as if I were throwing two baseballs at the same time. That wouldn't be very productive, just like I don't think it's very productive to bet anything here in this spot. Bailey Ober, 35.7% hard hit percentage, 303 xWOBA, 4.8% walk rate. He never beats himself. And Wade Miley, 31.9% hard hit percentage, yet never gets those swing and misses. 16.3% K rate with just a 19.4% whiff percentage. So two guys who do it completely differently, look completely different, and, well, we're just going to stay away altogether now. Birds of a feather now, under 8.5, just because they each have their redeeming qualities. But we're going to watch Wade Miley just... I don't have to watch this baseball. Well, I'm probably going to because it's my team, but I'm probably going to be working during it, if I'm being honest. I wish I could. I'm ready for NFL to be here. How about you? Just talked about NFL, talked about the Twins, and then I just started thinking about the Vikings, and I got sad. So we're going to just pretend like we never talked about it. We got the Mariners, we got the White Sox here. And coming off of a day where we really wanted to target Touki Toussaint in some capacity with home run props, with runs, and, well, he gave up a bajillion of them. And yet I didn't end up on that over. I'm a little bit mad at myself. Didn't end up on Seattle after Julio Rodriguez did not end up in the lineup. But he had a day of rest. The Seattle savior, if you will. That's kind of a good name for him. Piss somebody off with that, though. The Seattle Mariners going up against the White Sox here in this spot. Julio Rodriguez expected to be back, as is somebody we haven't seen in a long time. Haven't been able to do the D2 Mighty Ducks bit. Woo, 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 Brian Woo. I like that movie. You should too. 32.9% hard hit percentage, 352 expected slugging with nearly a 26% K rate. Now, how much of him we get to see in this spot is yet to be determined. I bet they show caution with this young arm because he's really, really good. Like, he's got the strikeout stuff. You got to figure out some of the other stuff too. 4.75 ERA. That's not exactly what you're looking for, although I think positive regression was due for him across the board. But he's going to be going up against Mike Clevinger here. And Mike Clevinger, 320 xWOBA, 19.7% K rate, a far cry from the near borderline ace you had in Cleveland with Mike Clevinger. And then he goes to San Diego. Can't go back to San Diego. Got a one-way ticket so we can go see the Cure. That's new Blink-182. Does anybody else listen to that? Just me? Cool. Good talk. Glad we had it. Nothing else to talk about here. Seattle money line. That's going to be a lean without knowing anything else here. The bullpen should be rested coming into this one. You should have an opportunity. They're up 5-1. They've got their guy, Luis Castillo, on the mound. So I can't imagine that if they're going to continue to be up by 4 or 5 runs like they are at the moment, that they're going to have anything close to stretched out bullpen here, but something tells me they end up favored anyway, so fuck it. Probably don't bet it. And we're back to bets. I know. Again, we want to show a little bit of caution late season MLB, but also I say that knowing that I bet 2 units on a team in the Cubs who are only up 6-5 now, and I'm very, very, very nervous. It got tied up 5-5, and I just noticed, and then it's 6-5, and there's just problems everywhere. So anyway, Cincinnati Reds, Los Angeles Angels, this game got postponed. Be paying attention to news, but assuming that it's the same pitching matchup as we had yesterday, Graham Ashcraft versus Lucas Giolito, it'd be weird if I didn't have the exact same play here. So Cincinnati money line, we like it. I don't really want to talk about it again, so I'm not going to. It's my show, and I'll cry if I want to. Next game if I want to. We're going to Kansas City. God, I'm ready for football. And to hear Patrick Mahomes, put up a bajillion yards every single time with that cadence, and I'm here. Zach Greinke sounds like he's going to be a long reliever for this one. That's a little bit weird. And then it's Angel Zerpa, who's probably going to be starting for this one. He is stretched out, so maybe this is a true piggyback situation. Again, Kansas City completely out of this one, so I don't really know what to tell you. Neither of those guys are good, though. Kyle Muller on the other side of this one, kind of good. Has his moments. Now, he's got a terrible ERA, 7.65 there, nearly a 2 whip, but what am I even trying? Am I trying to make a case for this guy? I'm delirious. 555 expected slugging, 14.9% K rate. What I'm getting at is it whenever you pitch in Oakland and you're going to be getting plus money on the Oakland side because, well, in this situation, Oakland was favored with Paul Blackburn, which I just was floored by. And again, the books have started to catch up there, and now we can't really find any sort of value here in this spot. So I'm assuming Kansas City, though, ends up favored against this character, but maybe not. I have no idea what to make of it because Kyle Muller is one of the worst starters in baseball. And I'm just saying that this is a ballpark that suppresses power, even though Michael Massey, Bobby Witt, having some fantastic second halves of the season. And of course, our hero, Nelson Velasquez. Real ones know what I'm talking about, but I'm just talking about an Oakland money line lean here. Probably not a game in this ballpark that I want anything to do with. Yeah, we'll see what the numbers come out as. It's hard to approximate that without them, but numbers are king. 2 games to go. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification, but especially that like button for a like. We have from this one, the Texas Rangers taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. We're going to the desert. Well, it's going to be a fun pitching matchup to watch from one part of it. Zach Gallen on the mound going up against these Texas Rangers. And my guy, well, not my former guy, John Gray, back when he was with Colorado. It's been negative regression for him here in a Texas Rangers uniform, especially in terms of Ks, just a 20.5% K rate. He does it a little bit differently, though. He can be effective with the barrel percentage, 5.5%, 38.5% hard hit percentage. Those are the kind of things you needed to have in Colorado, bro. Could have won a Cy Young in Colorado with that. But Zach Gallen on the other side, he's been my dude forever. He always gives up the hard hit, 45.8%. He always has that expected slugging sitting around 400, 422, but pitches in a pretty cavernous ballpark for somebody who, again, might have a home run problem other places, but he carries a 26.1% K rate, 5.1% walk rate, and of course it's terrifying facing Texas with this 117 WRC plus against right-handed pitching. That's the 3rd best mark in baseball, but friends. I have to back my dude Zach Gallen at this kind of a number, minus 125. This is on the fringe of lean-like situation, so this would be your thinnest play on the day on Tuesday, but it's one of my guys. I'm up many, many units with him. Let me find. Oh, that's going to take too long. I'm going to do it, though. Hold, please. 22 units. It's a pretty good number. The course of a year and a half since doing this show. Again, year and a half. Did this show for a year and a half. You guys are the best. Thanks for tuning in all the time. You probably won't feel that way if Arizona doesn't win. But actually, they don't matter as much as the next game because let's fire up a lock. Yes, friends, Blake Snell skips Monday, where he gets in an even better matchup on Tuesday. And somehow, some way, we're looking at a worse number right now. The Miami Marlins, San Diego Padres. If you're listening on podcast, you're probably a little confused, and I apologize. We'll never do it again. Actually, I probably will because I'm a doofus. But Jesus Luzardo going up against Blake Snell, pair of southpaws, and one of those is not like the other one. You got Jesus Luzardo hasn't been as good. He does have strikeout stuff overall, so that's nifty with a 27.7% K rate. But he runs into a San Diego team that should roll out a lot of righties, and not all of them good. Not all of them good, but enough of them. And then the lefties, that being, well, the one at the top of the lineup, Juan Soto, he's definitely going to be in this lineup no matter what. He's rather good at the game of baseball. So what are we doing here with this number? What are we doing? Jesus Luzardo has a 433 expected slugging, 42.7% hard hit percentage, and an 11% barrel percentage. Yes, this is a decent ballpark here in Petco to be pitching, but it's not as good as he pitches in routinely back at home in Miami. We're not going to Miami. We're going to San Diego. 32.8% hard hit percentage for Blake Snell. 31% K rate. Broke him down. Just don't walk dudes, and you should, my friends, absolutely smash the faces off the Miami Marlins here in this spot, looking at him being somebody to back in terms of Ks, but more importantly, plus money, plus 115. This San Diego team I still look at as pretty decent. I know the record doesn't show it. I know that they've been a disappointment relative to expectations for a lot of people, not the Dodgers, because they just win the NL West every single year anyway and just hate. But anyway, that's really all I got for you. San Diego minus 1.5. Bye-bye now. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on the board on Tuesday's slate. Hopefully we can get these Cubs across the finish line here. It's 7-5, bottom of the ninth. They found an insurance run. Please, God, just close out these Cubbies for the 2-unit special. That would be great. But also, let's focus on tomorrow. I'm going to be in the comment section helping you out. I'm going to be there talking a little Caesars over on Lindy's Locks Update. My studio should be done. The AC didn't have the right thing, wasn't built to the space, had to carve it out. You don't care, but you should care about Caesars Sportsbook. Also, BetMGM still have that offer going. 2 free months of premium Discord. Myself, Ben Raza, Eitan Shander, all hanging out there. If you sign up at BetMGM, that will also be at the top of the little link thing there over on YouTube.com. Appreciate you all checking in. A lot of new faces, a lot of fun these last couple days, last couple weeks, really. Really enjoyed yet another Tuesday here, breaking down MLB for you. Don't forget, NFL Lindy's going to be here before you know it. Get ready for that to drop every single Friday. I'm going to have my dude, producer Jacob, hanging along for the ride, doing the thing. Pew, pew, pew. I hope I don't see Aaron Rodgers do that ever. That will really piss me off. But Caesars Sportsbook, check them out. Only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'm out of here, friends. I'm out of the garage. Or I'm not. It depends on if this AC ever gets fixed. For the love of God, get fixed. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Tuesday.